Around it. What is this?
It's just a filter. I was doing a channel update.
Oh. Did you update everybody on what's on your face?
No, I was trying to hide it with cat whiskers.
It didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am nursing a cold sore for anyone watching this podcast.
He does not. He did not take up meth or any other form of drug use.
No, I did not. I'm just nursing a cold sore, but I have a feeling it'll be gone here. I mean, I think it's basically gone. It's just a scab now, but it's taken a little while to heal, so... Anyway, I am excited for it to be gone. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're going to a place with a lot of sun rays. That's not going to help. Yeah, so I need to be covered with sunscreen.
For sure.
Which is kind of funny because when Ashley was borrowing my car for Bow Disciples Challenge 3, her friend, she was giving her friend a ride to, I don't know, probably go surfing or something. And in the passenger door, I had some sunscreen in there, and her friend pulls it out and looks at it. It had expired in 2014.
It was very old.
So she went ahead and bought me some new sunscreen.
And now you can't find it.
And now I can't find it. So I would
luckily we have some more.
Yeah, Protect. We got some Protect sunscreens. That's nice. But Hawaii's going to be good. How you feeling? You pretty excited to go hunt out there?
I am excited. I don't feel ready quite yet. You know, once we do this pod, I gotta go fold longer, kind of set everything that I want to bring aside, so I feel like at least that's checked through. I'm gonna feel really not ready until I can pack my carry-on and my hunting stuff, you know, like that goes in my pack. Then I'll feel like, okay, I have everything to hunt and vacation, so I probably won't feel ready until then. But I am excited. You know, it's never a guarantee in any hunt, ever, that you're gonna get something. But I always like to, like, at least go in with this mindset that I'm going to. Not in, like, a arrogant or just expected way. More of, like, a determined way. Because then I think you go in with a bit more energy, and commitment to succeeding. Because I know there's gonna be some steep climbs.
There's some climbs.
Yeah. But I'm just excited. I'm interested to see, like, is it gonna be glassable, or are we just gonna, like, spot goats and go, or, like,
it's
gonna
be glassable for sure. I'm doing a bit of recon on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll watch some tonight.
It's steep, though. No, we're watching Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, my God.
We're working our way through a film series. Don't worry, I got your back, little brother.
Okay.
It'll be okay.
Thanks, big brother.
So, I'm gonna try some new binoculars. You're trying new camo.
Yeah.
New backpack.
This is the first time I'm glassing with these Bushnells, too.
Right.
And this will be the first time you're glassing with these Alpins.
Yeah, a lot of new stuff. Before we get into all that, though, this podcast right here is sponsored by podiumarcher.com. So if you do not live close to a local shop, or you have beef with the guys at your local shop, you can go shop at podiumarcher.com and use code PUMPSTATION at checkout to save.
Don't use any other code.
Just PUMPSTATION.
I hear that's the only one that works.
It is, actually. And you can only make you could save about 10% website-wide. Almost, not entirely. But yeah, anyway, appreciate that. Shout out to podiumarcher.com. Back to the show. But yeah, a lot of new stuff. You're going to be running a new backpack.
Yep.
New camo.
Yep.
New binoculars.
Yep.
Are you wearing the harness, or are you going to wear...
No, I'm going to wear now that I learned, because I'm a retard. I'm an idiot.
Jeez, OP.
I'm an idiot.
I'm not editing, so that's going to be in there. You're going to get canceled.
I don't think we're beyond that time.
Me, I'll be fine.
I think we're beyond that now. But anyways, that you just take out the pad inside of the bino case to fit the larger binos.
You left your pad in there?
I didn't know there was pads in it. So, yeah, I was quickly shown that I'm done.
So you are going to try the Bushnell?
So I'm going to do the nicer Bushnell Bino pack. I do quite enjoy it. So far, the one I tried theirs out at Pennsylvania Tack. The only thing I would love is more like padded shoulder pieces, just because it gets weighing down when it's got a curve underneath the, things. So,
what are you talking about specifically?
Well, like here. You know?
We go crash the moon. I'm kidding. I'm not editing it all. I'm just chopping the front.
But anyway, so far I do enjoy it. So I'm interested to glass with the new binos.
And your rangefinder.
And new rangefinder, yeah. I am excited for when I send the broadhead one though, just to tinker with it. That'll be really cool. I don't even know all the things it does yet, but
I mean, just same thing as mine. It's a new version of what I have. My arc.
Well, like, what does it show you, like, the little broadhead symbol, like, when you're looking through the binos? I mean, the rangefinder.
That's probably, I would guess, like, the angle comp or something, but, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had very good luck with the, angle comp in mine, so.
I loved my bone collector when he got me.
Shout out to Waddell.
I realized even my headlamp is Bushnell.
Yeah, your factory. How's it feel to have a personal sponsor?
It's not really a personal sponsor. But
it is,
like,
though.
You know, maybe one day it could be.
It is sort of a
I like them, and I think they like me. So, you know, like, maybe our relationship will grow one day.
You are a fun bunch. I mean, you can be nasty when you're out shooting. I think so today.
Well, no, I've gotten much
Oh,
better.
you have gotten much better.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Gen 1 Brianna will come out.
To be fair, Gen 1 Brianna at Pennsylvania was... I think it was acceptable. It was.
Yeah.
I do.
Really?
I do. No one, you could say you did it, but no one was like, I agree. It's your stuff. No. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I said, I believe you. I just don't know how to fix it.
He said that's after I proved it by going to gas and taking the pictures
No, I said
of
that.
mine.
I said that prior to, and you know how I know is because we were walking to the restaurant, and I was like, "Hey, do you want me to come with you down there?" And you said no, so I stayed with Scotty.
Well, that's not agreeing with me. That's just like, hey, you
no, but
want to come?
I remember saying that sentence though. Like I said.
Well, yeah, I understand.
I'm saying I said. I said that I believe you. Well, let's go get it fixed. I said that exact same thing. So, but Gen 1 Brianna comes out every once in a while, and it's nice that the viewers got to see it a little bit.
I'm okay with that. You know, that I don't hide anything. There's no fake person on camera.
I'm super fake.
Who it is who it is. You know, I'll be who I'm gonna be.
I'm pretty fake.
No, I think everybody can agree once they've met you that this is you on and off the camera.
But anyway, I thought that so I watched the video, obviously. Like, a lot of times I don't watch the videos after I finish.
Did you preface which video or something?
I'm big into it.
Oh, okay.
Is it part 1 and 2 playoffs?
Oh, yeah.
So you wanted to watch Brittany's, not mine, and I said, well, if we're going to watch that one, we have to watch part 1.
Okay,
so we watched mine.
I guess.
So we watched them both. Both are great. It is kind of funny. I was talking to Scott about it. I was like, really, the outcome was fairly predictable that it would be me and him last.
The only one that was questionable was Joey and Brittany. But that could have gone either way.
To be honest, I thought all three of you could go either way.
If I had my equipment, checked before, that afternoon, like I should have, and done the work prior to going out to Loophole that morning, it could have gone either way with all three of us every single round. But the top two, I think, is pretty predictable, would usually be. There's a significant difference in us three.
Well, I'll tell you what, though. The fun part about the playoff concept, though, is that even Scott or me could farm one. And then if we farm one, you only have 6 targets.
Well, and not just that. You never know what target's coming up next. So, it could be a target you just generally suck at. It could be a target that we're better at that you're not, guaranteed 12 at.
Yeah, I only have 2 guaranteed 12s. Also, what I really love about the playoff concept and, 5 or 6 targets, slate wipes clean, 5 or 6, slate wipes clean, someone gets ejected every time, is one, anyone could have a bad 6 target stretch, but also someone who's not even good could have a ringer 6 target stretch. So, you literally, it doesn't, in this case it worked where B and Scott did make it to the end, but it easily could have been different. We could have got booted early. So that's why I love it. And I think when we go to skipping ahead a little bit, but I think after the hunt, when we go to Montana Tack, I really want to do that video again.
I think so.
What we would need to do is add maybe a person that day for like an afternoon or something, so we have 5. It would work with 4, but I think it's a better video with 5. So I think we'll try to add...
Yeah, well, that would be 5 targets each for a 25 target course.
With 5?
Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Aren't they 25 usually? 25 or 15 target.
So we had 5 in on Loophole, and it was every 6 targets someone got booted, and then the last round was 7. Because you're really only booting
James,
3.
Scott, Joey, me.
Yeah, it's every 6 shots. You got to remember, you're not booting the person who wins ever, or the guy in second. Really, they do the whole thing.
Yeah.
So you're only actually booting 3 people.
Correct.
And then the 2 in the final.
Because that would leave only the last person for the last 5.
Correct. So basically, if we do it again in Montana, if we can add a 5th person, it'd be the same thing.
Yeah.
6, 6, 6, and then the final 7.
Sure, we should do that.
It's fun. And our crew is going to be great. So here's the question. The group this time is going to be me, you, Rebecca, Joey. And then let's say the 5th is just someone who we maybe have never filmed with or something. Out of those 4... who do you think could be, like, do you think I don't think you're getting booted first again.
I don't think so. I think I'm going to come with my stuff dialed this time. My sight's going to come off in the flight for sure this time. And then I'm going to check at the practice range. Please, Jesus, let this practice range not be uphill.
Oh, it's going to be
uphill.
Yep.
But I'm going to check my stuff beforehand. I'm even going to go to a booth to have my axes checked before I start shooting. That's how much I'm going to make sure that I can...
I think that's
competitive.
I think that's a bit of a risky play, though, because let's say you get it set at Bow and Arrow Shop and they have you dialed, and then you show up somewhere else and it says it's not dialed, but what if their equipment doesn't match each other?
That's
so
true.
Really you are dialed.
Well, I'm going to make that decision at that point based on what I see. But theory is...
That's why I'd maybe shoot first, though.
Yeah.
Because if it's dialed, you're hitting the shit good, then it's like, why would you shoot?
But theory would be that, like, if it's dialed before I leave and I take my sight off and mount it back on the same way, nothing should change. So I could just confirm that by putting it. And it's not like you move anything to check it. You just put it in the vise and throw a level on it.
We watched Lilo and Stitch.
Anyways, but before we move on, another game I want to play, but we have to put one... It's not really a handicap, it's just a blanket rule for everybody, because, although it'd be a little tricky... No, not really, like... You just gotta do what you gotta do with your 2-pin. You got a 20, and in theory, what about is your second pin?
I can set it to anything I want.
Well, no, if you don't move it, just 20, and what about...
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I could not move it, but start it at, like, 40 and...
No, say you don't do that. Say you put your first pin at 20.
The dead stop.
Yeah.
So I'd be like 20 and 40.
Okay, so I want to play kind of like what Jeff did, where it's just gap pins.
Maybe I'll have a 5-pin in my
just for that.
in my backpack for that.
Well, yeah, but the rule will be is you can only shoot 20, 30, 40. That's all you get. You stack above and below that. So, like, even if you got a 5-pin, so you can't just use your bottom pin to get 6 because everybody else has that opportunity.
Yeah, but that's their fault for equipment choice.
I guess technically it's not, because, like, I could just slide my bottom pin to 60 and then still gap.
I could run an 8-pin freaking fixed sight.
No.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna have the same rule.
But everyone runs different stuff. That's, like, the whole thing.
No. The whole thing is like, who's a better pin gapper and pin stacker?
Yes, but it's like you can't really do that nowadays because all the sights are so much different. Like back in the day when we all shot 5-pin sliders, like that's how we shot.
Sure you can. If you have 3 pins.
Yeah, but I only have 2, and what if someone else only has 1? How you gonna do that test?
Well, we'll see what everyone's thought.
We'll
check sites and see if everybody can play it. But I want to play that because that is, we're talking about, like, so much of the time, we get used to in 3D, like, moving to our exact yardage. And I haven't done a round in forever, or even at the range, where I just pin gapped or pin stack. And I need to practice that again more. And 2, I think it would be fun to see if, somebody better or worse at.
Yep, I don't. I think it's fine. Sure. Oh, sure.
Oh, sure.
This is probably the latest we've ever recorded a podcast.
It for sure is, and I kind of like it because it's a little. Granted, the fan says 81 in here right now.
It's not.
But it doesn't quite feel like 81.
I mean, it's 8:40.
Well, we still have to make dinner.
We got to make dinner. We got to finish
Fold
Dark
the
Knight
laundry.
Rises. Do laundry.
Kind of pack it, at least like lay it out, ready to pack it.
So anyway, we watched Lilo and Stitch, and as a kid, that was a movie I watched on loop. On loop, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of the film?
It was phenomenal. It really, and I'm going to say the reason why, because I questioned this, I told you this before when we watched this, and they're going to have to cast an older, change the script a little. They're going to have to cast an older Lilo. There's no way they're finding a 5-6-year-old child who can play Lilo. They found the perfect Lilo. On and off camera, the girl, I've watched some interviews with her, bonkers. ADHD to the max. Off the wall, just like Lilo. So they nailed that right there. And then all the other, I think the only and I could be wrong, you can comment if there's someone famous in there I didn't recognize, but the only other one and didn't even have a main role was Zach Galifianakis. The rest of them were I would call them B-listers, but not names like you see in A-list movies all the time.
Definitely true, yeah.
So you could have, worried a little that it was going to be, semi-flop with not great actors, but that is not.
That was very good.
Yeah, the saddest part when let's go in the water. It's
Oh yeah, yeah. You know how I am. I'm a big sap.
You dropped some tears though.
I cried 3 or 4 times.
Oh my god. I don't know if I actually cried at all during the movie, but that was just the sweetest, saddest little moment.
Now let's talk a little bit about. We haven't finished it, so we can't give your final rating. But with an hour left of the 3rd film of the trilogy, Dark Knight Rises trilogy. So you got Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. As of now, without finishing the 3rd film, how would you rank the films?
I'd probably go, as most people do in series movies, I'd go number 1, 1, number 2, 2, number 3, 3. And the only reason 3 is 3rd, it could have gone either way, is I just can't for the life of me understand Bane. Even if I were in a friggin' locked-tight, airtight, silent room, I don't think I could understand him through that mask.
Do you feel in charge?
That was pretty good.
That was a hard line when he said
But
that.
you gotta deepen it 10 more octaves.
Well, they flip, because the guy says, he goes what's he say? He goes, well, I'm the one in charge. You need to get out of here. And he goes, do you feel in charge?
That
was more British.
Yeah, the other one was better.
But, okay, interesting. Almost everybody, and I guarantee in the comments section,
and they use
everybody gonna say
2,
the second one's
the trail short. But
So,
I
why
did
do
wonder
you-
if that was
My question is, why do you rank the second one below the first one? Because almost that's gonna be a hot take. It's gonna be a very hot take.
Yeah. I think it just, for me, it stuck to a bit more of I could feel the comic book vibe in it, and that's what Batman is. It's a comic.
On the first one.
On the first one. Even though I didn't know until I looked at the cast, why he was called the Scarecrow, because that's part of the comic book, is he's the Scarecrow. I was like, why is he wearing this bag over his air, gas mask? But then I got it. But, it was a little, I don't want to use the word cheesy, but, that's what I could come up with right now. In a sense of, I could understand the comic book feel behind it, and, everything was understandable as, even if you hadn't watched a Batman series and didn't know that Scarecrow was Scarecrow and whatnot. The second one starts to get a bit more real, like just a movie, not based on a comic. Even with Joker,
grungy.
yeah, even with Joker, like really looking like the Joker, it was just like it was a movie, which is great. A top-rated movie, but the first one just screams Batman to me.
I mean, it's really good. Don't you like it?
Yeah, for sure. The third one, not just the Bane can't understand his voice thing, but also like within the first 2 minutes of the movie, which again they do this stuff on purpose, so you're like, what's going on? You keep watching. I was lost.
But the intro is
Like,
pretty epic. So
why are they jumping into an airplane and transferring blood into this man? It'll make sense at the end when they're like, this guy died in a plane. No, he didn't. Like,
well, you know what was actually really crazy is, because I think it's only the second time I've ever seen the movie. I can't wait to watch the end after this, but like that part where Batman, he has Catwoman bring him down to meet Bane, and then he walks through the fence and she like shuts it on him, and he's like, "Oh, that was a mistake," and then you hear Bane from the back go, "But not as big as yours," and then like he beats the shit out of him, and then when they hit the bomb and they show that they're right underneath all this stuff, it was like, oh man, that part was crazy.
yeah.
So I'm very interested to see what happens next, because it's looking like you can't recover for this.
Yeah. And maybe I missed a portion that made it understandable in more places than I was lost, but like this environmental plan thing just kind of comes out of like left field, because you're left at the end where he just runs off and he's evading police. And then we're, boom, 8 years later where he's like got a limp and every, thing in his body is wrong, or sickly or whatever. Which, okay, yeah, I guess it makes sense, but like, doing pretty okay at the end of the last movie. So how did we get to like needing a cane and being a cripple? I don't know. He was only Batman for like less than a year. Now all of a sudden he's a cripple.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like, boom, they're like going back and forth about this environmental plan. I'm like, what environmental plan are we talking about?
Yeah, that thing.
Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah,
you don't learn about it till you learn about this nuclear thing down there and why she's so eager to use Bane. But it was our Batman, aka Wayne Enterprises. But like, there's not enough backstory to understand what's going on. You're just like constantly playing catch up, which I think they planned that way. But nonetheless, for me, it was a little too much for me to be like, oh, I'm freaking lost, I'm done. But we'll see how the next hour goes. I still think she's a bad person. When they showed that little clip about the kid, I think it was the only one to like climb out of. I think it's her.
Oh, you don't think it's Bane?
I think it's her.
Wow, wouldn't that be something? Okay, well, a lot of good takes. Can't wait to finish the movie. What would you say you are most excited for in Hawaii?
Dogs.
That's your number one.
Yeah.
I'm excited now.
Maybe, if a pig comes by, because that can be, and she goes year round too. But, goats, for sure.
So you're just getting after it.
Yeah, yeah. I know you love, like, the beach and the water.
Well, you already know what I'm...
Breakfast.
You already know what I'm most excited
Yeah, you're ready for your pork chop breakfast.
I
Chop sandwiches.
can't wait. Is it not a pork chop, actually? It's a pork shoulder steak.
Oh.
So...
I hope you remember which restaurant this is.
I remember what it looked like. And
Is it the one that was kind of like the shopping plaza?
It's in like a mall, but it's like upstairs.
Okay, yeah. So you went once by yourself, and then we went once.
Yeah, it was one of the few places that like opened at like kind of early, I remember, and I think that's where I went. I could find it. It might take me a little bit, but I will find it. I will return.
We'll drive up and down.
We'll probably
like
walk from our
drive,
place because we're
so.
staying close. So that's nice. I'm excited about that, and just life. It's more life, I'm excited for life.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Why don't you talk about you're about to start something pretty exciting? Maybe that could sponsor this episode also. So tell me what you're doing.
So we're gonna launch, and maybe we'll do another pod after this. It'll be a little shorter. We'll go into more detail and whatnot. So we can have one solely focused on it. But we're gonna launch a website here soon. You know, obviously in the Navy, I did public affairs, which also encompasses social media, and brand and image and whatnot. And then for you, I've done similar for the last almost 4 years. And so really it's going to be like a sole enterprise until I decide to make it an LLC, helping brands build their brands. Right now I'm going to focus it on just helping people improve their digital media. So that's things like doing thumbnails for people, editing their photos for them, you know, whether it's put together in a campaign series or whatnot that they can, you know, post or launch or whatnot, graphics for their social media, their websites, things like that, flyers for, you know, businesses if they want, all of that fun stuff, basically. And you're kind of gonna there's not gonna be like set plans or anything like that. You know, I'll have like one-off prices for people if they just want like a single thumbnail or a pack of photos edited or whatnot. But primarily the best way will be to contact so I can see what it is you want, and then I can, you know, price based on that, or people can do retainers if they want. But I've done it for so long now between you and the Navy that it's like, why not do it for everybody? You know, I always look at stuff and I'm like, oh, that could be better. And you're like, I like this. And I'm like, well, let me just do it for you. So I think I will find it exciting to do a lot for others as well. And hopefully that'll turn into a point where that's basically, you know, my full-time job.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think you have the wherewithal and talent to do it. You may want to use AI every once in a while, do a little proofreading on stuff you do. But
what's so funny is it's because I'm sending it to you that I'm just like, put a word vomit and throw it to you in an email because I know you want to put your own
through it.
touch on things and whatnot. But like I've written.
I'm pulling your leg.
Oh my God, so much. Between press releases, briefing cards, full campaigns, communications plans, actual stories.
I was pulling your leg.
And we have this thing called ghost emailing. So if you don't know what that is, like I write the email for you and then I just forward it to you and you hit send. We do it a lot for leadership so they don't have to take the time to write their own emails, which is wild. Someone else most of the time wrote it for them, which is what I do for you. And I go through emails only. I'm just like, here you go. Nowhere near what if I had turned whatever I turned into you to like a commander, they'd be like, no, just go back and try again.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you'll do really well, and I think you've certainly helped. You know, myself a lot, you know, because you are very good, I think, at kind of, I would say, almost like maybe brand management / like, yeah, I'd say brand management if I had to really title it. You're really good at that, and that encompasses a lot of things, whereas, like, I am okay at that, but I'm really good at like ideas, banging out a lot of stuff, doing a lot of filming, doing a lot of editing, I'm good at like producing stuff at like a rapid pace. And then you're really good at
like a fine touch to it.
Exactly. Yeah, you're good at like, because a lot of times I'll have an idea where I want to do something and I'll say, hey, I want to make these golf target faces, and I want to sell them on the website. And then I'll just tell you that, which is a great idea. And then I'll say, I kind of want it to look like this. And then you'll work on it, kind of come up with a concept. and then say, how's this? And I'll go, well, it's really close, but I want to change blah, 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 blah. You'll change that, and then boom, eventually we get to where I'm like, okay, great, you're happy with it, and then order them. And like, you help with all that stuff, the ordering, setting up accounts, like all sorts of different shit. So whoever is going to hire you early, whoever hires you early is going to get a great price. Not as
For
good,
sure, because you know I love ball things.
not as good as me, but not as good a price as me, but I mean, they'll be getting a bargain because you're really good at what you do, and I'm excited because I think it's a good opportunity for you. And I mean, will you maybe, I mean, you're still on the job hunt. You could find just a regular ass job. Yeah, that'd be great too. So, you're really good at that as well. But I think that this is great for you to do. So I hope someone watching sees a niche and gives it a shot, and I know that you'll do your best to deliver.
It's not even really a niche. I mean, these companies exist out there already. It's just, you pay an arm and a leg for something that, like, I'm not going to friggin' take someone's kidney for the work that I'm doing. But, like,
Yeah,
you go to Fiverr and get
take the kidneys. And,
you go to Fiverr and, like, you want a logo made, and at the end they're like, okay, what you described would be about $1,000. And it's like, huh? So it's just bonkers. But yeah, at the end of the day, what I do for you on top of all of that stuff is, brand management or, brand, image, and again, there are also companies that do that. I just happen to be able to do both for you because we are together all of the time. But one day, could I take it there? I would absolutely love to, where I can help people speak to sponsors as a liaison, as a middleman, as their contract person, which is something like what I hear Rich does.
Well, you do great on that for and all the stuff you're describing, I can vouch for that you're really good at, and I've kind of got to watch the escalation of you getting better at all those things too. So like, you're pretty polished now because we've been working at getting better through our through the whole ship of both, I'm sure with the Navy too, but with the Bow Disciples brand. I mean, bro, when you got with me, it was nothing really. I mean, it was something, but like, no, not polished really at all. And then like, you weren't very polished at trying to help. I wasn't super polished. We didn't have an audience yet, but over time, I got better at what I was doing. The audience grew. You got better at what you were trying to do, and now it's like pretty well-oiled thing, So whoever, like I said, I sound like a salesman here, but like, they're going to be getting a pretty polished thing because you've done it and you've proven it. And we got the plaque right there, a bunch of sponsors that I didn't have. Not to say I wouldn't have that stuff without, but
to convincing you,
it's just different. You know what I mean?
Speak to sponsors even, and some people don't know.
Well, I'm really glad,
don't want to, like you didn't.
I'm really glad that I
finally jumped on this.
No, I'm glad that I held out as long as I did. And so important.
That for sure too. I think there's a fine line.
You can make an argument I could have held out one more year. I think you could make that argument, but I'm really happy. And the main thing is, like, every sponsor that I have, and we actually have a couple new ones that we're gonna be announcing soon. But like, I really like all of them, and like so I'm not doing them just for like dumb, like selfish reasons. I actually like, if someone buys a Kawasaki, I think it's a good purchase for them. You know what I mean? Like, I really do believe that. Same with a Bowtech. I mean, what better proof you need than I shot them for 20 years? You know what I mean? So I think it's like good. And I could say that same thing. You go down the line, I could say it about all of them, Sure, I haven't shot Beast or Nose Buttons for near as long as any of my other stuff, but go watch my videos in Africa. They happen in
different ways, and that one just so happened to happen. Where you met the person first, which is uncommon for your current sponsors. But you really enjoyed the person that runs the business and their ideology and their mindset and their helpfulness. And sometimes that's all it takes to try something out. And that's exactly how it worked. Like, you didn't even start by being like, okay, let's do a deal. He was like, let me send you some broadheads first and you try them out. And I think what you did first was your coos. Before you had a contract, you were just trying out the product.
I think a peccary as well, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, peccary. And you shot a peccary with one. A beast, actually. Yeah, you shot a peccary with beast as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one that was shaggy. Yeah, so you shot a peccary with the beast. And, but yeah, I mean, all that to say, I'm really proud of you. And I think that you'll do great, whether or not you get a job in more of a traditional sense or grow this business. I think either one you're going to crush it at. So I'm scoped to see where it goes, and obviously I'll throw my clout behind it, you know, the most I can. So, you know.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a fun everything we're doing is fun right now, you know. I am tuckered. I'm tuckered. I mean, you saw me yesterday. I was like, yo, I'm smoked. I had to lay down, take a little nap, you know, but...
Well, luckily you'll get a 6-hour flight tomorrow to nap.
But I love what we're doing. I mean, everything we're doing is fun. Yes, it's tiring at times, but I wouldn't want to do anything else. I mean, we're having fun, making cool content, making cool relationships, meeting tons of people, getting to explore the country and even the world in some cases, and it's just been a fun ride, so... Let's keep it going, and if you guys want to inquire with Brianna, and for whatever reason the website's not up yet, because it's in process, you can always just DM her on Instagram in the meantime, get something going, and she'll get you squared away.
Yeah. For sure. And the next podcast pick we'll be watching after this, you'll get to see how we feel about Hawaii, because we'll probably be mid-trip out there, sitting on the side of a mountain, somewhere finding shade.
Or maybe on the beach. I would love to do one on the beach.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Or the mountain. Or both if you want.
Or maybe both, yeah, but the beach is so cool. It's avant-garde.
So it's the side of a mountain.
Well, both are avant-garde. We actually did a mountain pod in South Africa. That was on a mountain.
Yeah.
It was literally on a mountain.
Were you guys, sitting in chairs or something, in the lawn?
No. We, took chairs to the top of a mountain and just, filmed with the craziest...
Yeah, but did you, take a vehicle up there to the top?
We drove them up with a Kubota, but you can't sell that to the footy.
Yeah, this one will...
I actually got a pretty cool story. Maybe we'll close with this. So... Travis, the guy who filmed with me in South Africa, Outdoors with Travis, if you guys want to shoot him a follow on Instagram and YouTube. So, a lot of people watched the videos that him and I did while I was out there, obviously. Mm-hmm. And a few of them got a lot of views, you know what I mean? Anyway... Ty Jordan drew a very good deer tag in Utah. I won't say which unit. I don't want to oust him, but really good unit, right? He saw the footage that we filmed in Africa.
Is this what's coming up?
Called up
Is
Travis.
this to the public yet? Because it seems like they're keeping it hush-hush.
Yeah, they've been yapping all about it.
I saw the one that said, we're getting together for vid, but it's not in South Africa this time.
Well, I'm just gonna blow their story if that's the truth. They won't care. But anyway, so Ty hits up Travis because he had seen the footage and was like, "Yo, I want this guy to come film for me."
Yeah.
So Ty actually hired Travis to come film his hunt with them.
Is he paying for his flight across the world?
I don't know all the details, but I just think it's really cool because those are two guys that I really like, both of them, and I think it's really cool. That is
cool.
That's the power of social media and building connections, because I knew both of them a little bit, right? And I'm not sure. Ty probably reached out to Travis maybe, and then, anyway, a conversation was sparked from videos that we did, and then I think us knowing each other, like me being in the triangle, helped to facilitate it, and that's why I know social media gets a horrible rep sometimes, which I think has changed some. I don't really think that so much anymore, but it's beautiful in a lot of ways because those two guys wouldn't have got connected if it wasn't for social media. And much like me and a lot of my friendships, they're like almost entirely started from social media. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. And if you guys didn't want to tell everyone that, I'm sorry, but they would have found out anyways. The hunt's in August, I think, so it's like it's pretty soon. But the battery is dying. I see it flashing.
Oh, better
So,
end it now.
Thank you very much.
Let's go make some dinner.
Hit up Brianna. Hit up Brianna. I 100% vouch for her. Hit her up. And be sure to podiumarcher.com, code pump station, save 10%. And appreciate y'all. We're very grateful. Couldn't do it without y'all. And let's keep it moving. We'll see you guys in Montana, hopefully, for Total Archery Challenge as well. If you see us, say hi. And like and subscribe. 5 stars on Spotify and Apple. Do all the things. Shop on bowdisciples.com. And we'll see you in the next one.
Okay.